Today lecture is about the extra chromosomal replicons, the replicons which are present in addition to the chromosome. These extra chromosomal replicons they are present in the bacterium. A bacterium can be a host for independently replicating genetic units in addition to its own chromosome. These extra chromosomal genomes fall into two general types. First one is the plasmids, and the second one is the bacteriophages. Some plasmids and all phages have the ability to transfer from a donor bacterium to a recipient by an infective process. So the plasmids, some of the plasmids and all of the bacteriophages, they can be transmitted from one bacterium to the other bacterium. The distinction between the plasmid is that plasmids exist only as free DNA genomes, whereas the bacteriophages they are the viruses that package a duplicated genome into a protein coat and are released from the bacterium at the end of an infective cycle. So the bacteriophages they have the outer covering in the form of the proteins, but the plasmid they exist only as the free DNA genomes. So this is the distinction between the plasmids and the bacteriophages. Though now let's explain in detail what are the plasmids, different types of the plasmids. So the plasmids are self-replicating circular molecules of DNA that are maintained in the cell and in a stable and characteristic number of copies. That is, the average number remains constant from generation to generation. So in case of the plasmid, their number remains same after generation after generation. After the division of the bacterial cell, their number remains almost constant. So there are general two types of the plasmid. One is the low copy number plasmids. These uh, low number copy plasmids are maintained at a constant quantity relative to the bacterial host chromosome, often between 1 and 10 per bacterium. So their number ranges from the 1 up to 10 per bacterium depending on the plasmid. So as with the host chromosome, they rely on a specific apparatus to be segregated equally at each bacterial division. So as the bacterial chromosome, it is replicated and segregated equally between the two bacterial cells. Similarly, the low copy number plasmids they are also have the ability that they are equally segregated after each division of the bacterium. Multi-copy plasmids exist in many copies per unit bacterium and can be segregated to daughter bacteria randomly. So these multi-copy plasmids they are randomly distributed after each division of the bacterium, and it is ensured that each daughter cell always gains some by a random distribution, and it is ensured that after division of the bacterium, each newly formed bacteria cell they must have a random distribution of the plasmids. Plasmids and phages are defined by their ability to reside in a bacterium as independent genetic units. So there is the classification of the plasmid and phages is on the basis of their independent uh, existence between the bacterial cells. Certain plasmids and some phages can also exist as sequences integrated within the bacterial genome. So some of the plasmids and some bacteriophages they can also be integrated into the bacterial genome. In this case, the same sequence that constitutes the independent plasmid or phage genome is inherited like an other bacterial gene. So when the plasmid or the phages is integrated into the bacterial genome, in this case, they are replicated same as the bacterial genome. phages that are found as part of the bacterial chromosome are said to show lysogeny. So some bacteriophages they integrate into the bacterial cell in the form of a lysogenic cycle. Similarly, plasmids they also have the ability to integrate into the chromosome, and in this case, these plasmids are called episomes. So episomes are those plasmids which have the ability to be integrated into the bacterial genome. All episomes are plasmids, but not all plasmids are episomes. Related processes are used by phages and episomes to insert into and excise from the bacterial chromosome. So both the bacteriophages and episomes they use the similar mechanisms to be integrated into the bacterial genome and also to excise from the bacterial chromosome. The same processes are used by both the plasmids and the bacteriophages. So in case of the plasmid, a parallel between lysogenic phages and plasmids and episomes is that they maintain a selfish possession of their bacterium and often make it impossible for another element of the same type to become established. This effect is called immunity. So in both the bacteriophages and the plasmids, they have this mechanism and ability when one plasmid or the bacteriophage is inserted into the bacterial cell, they are selfish and they do not allow other plasmid of the same time or other phages of the same time to be integrated into the same bacterial genome. Molecular basis for plasmid immunity is different from lysogenic immunity, but there are different processes molecular at molecular level for the plasmid immunity and for the in case of the bacteriophages which are integrated into the bacterial genome. And this is a consequence of the replication control system. So there are different molecular mechanisms in case of the plasmid integration into the bacterial genome and into the case of the bacteriophages to be integrated into bacterial genome, different replication control systems are used in case of plasmid and in case of the bacteriophages. So one of the first plasmid to be discovered was the F plasmid. This F plasmid is a classic example of an episome. So this F plasmid can be found as a free circular plasmid in the bacterial cell as well as it can be integrated into the bacterial genome. So when it is integrated into the bacterial genome, it has a similar process like the lysogenic bacteriophage cycle. The plasmid is a large circular DNA approximately 100 kilobases in length. The plasmid can integrate at numerous sites in Escherichia coli bacterium, often by a recombination event involving certain sequences. So certain sequences which are present on both the plasmid and the bacterial genome, they help out the integration of the plasmid into the bacterial genome. These sequences, they are known as IS sequences. IS stands for insertion sequence. So these insertion sequences, they are elaborated in this figure. So these are the insertion sequence, IS sequences present in both the bacterial as well as the plasmid. This is the inverted IS sequence here, and similarly the inverted IS sequence here, and these IS sequences they help out the integration of the plasmid into the bacterial genome. And these are the genes for transposition, and this is the blue colored region is the structural genes. The F plasmid in its free plasmid form utilizes its own replication origin, which is abbreviated as ORIV, and its own control system, and is maintained at a level of one copy per bacterial chromosome. So in the free state, the F plasmid it uses its own replication origin as well as its own control system, and it is maintained usually at one copy per bacterial chromosome. When it is integrated into the bacterial chromosome, this system is suppressed. So when the F plasmid is integrated into the bacterial genome, when it becomes a part of the bacterial genome, its replication origin and the control system is suppressed, and FDNA is replicated. So in the integrated form, the FDNA is replicated as a part of the bacterial chromosome. So this is the structure of the F plasmid. Here is the origin, replication origin, and here is the origin of transcription or RT. And here are the three IS sites in this plasmid: IS1, IS2, IS3, and the whole size or content of this F plasmid is about 100 kilobases. And this is the region which has certain genes responsible for the integration of the F plasmid into the bacterial genome. The presence of the F plasmid, whether in the free form or the integrated form, has important consequences for the host bacteria. So, the presence of the F plasmid has very importance for the bacteria in which it resides, whether it resides in the free form or into the integrated form. The bacteria they can be classified as F positive bacteria if they contain the F plasmid, and the bacteria they can be F negative if do not have a copy of the F plasmid. Bacteria that are F positive are able to conjugate are made only with the bacteria that are F negative. Conjugation involves direct physical contact between donor F positive and recipient F negative bacteria. So there is a transfer of one plasmid from the bacteria, one bacterium into the another bacterium through a process known as the conjugation. This conjugation process it involves two bacteria, one of which is the F positive, which is the donor, and the second one is the recipient, that is the F negative. Contact after the contact is followed by one-way transfer of the F plasmid from the donor to the recipient. So there is only the one-way traffic from the F positive to the F negative bacteria, but never the other way. If the F plasmid exists as a free plasmid in the donor bacterium, it is transferred as a plasmid, and the infective process converts the F negative recipient into an F positive state. So there is the transfer in both the cases, whether the plasmid is found as free in the bacterial cell or it is found as integrated into the bacterium genome. When a free plasmid is transferred from a F positive bacterium to a F negative bacterium, it converts the F negative recipient into a F positive state. If the plasmid is present in an integrated form in the donor, and if the plasmid exists as a part of the bacterial genome, integrated into the bacterial genome, the transfer process might also cause some or rarely all of the bacterial chromosome to be transferred. So in the case if the plasmid is the part of the bacterial genome, it is integrated into the bacterial genome in this case. During the transfer process, it may have the F plasmid, it may carry some of the bacterial gene to be transferred to the recipient bacterium, some genes, and sometimes, and in some rare cases, the whole bacterial chromosome can be transferred from the donor to the recipient bacterium. Many plasmids have conjugation systems that operate in a generally similar manner. But the F plasmid was the first to be discovered. So many plasmids they have the conjugation systems which are similar to that of the F plasmid, but the F plasmid was one of the first which was discovered, and its system is used as an example or as a model for the conjugation process. The F plasmid is a large, about 33 kb region of the F plasmid called the transfer region is required for conjugation. So during the conjugation process, the region of the F plasmid known as the transfer region, TRA region is required for this conjugation process. This region, the genes of a TR region, and this black region is the operon, TRA operon, the regulatory region of the TRA region. So this is important during the conjugation process, during the transfer of the plasmid from the donor bacterium to the recipient bacterium. So this region from here to here is the most important during the conjugation process. This region, transfer region, it contains roughly 40 genes that are required for the transmission of DNA. So roughly about 40 genes are involved in the transmission process, in the conjugation process, and these genes, they are diagrammatically shown here. This is the regulatory region of the transfer region from here to here. Then there are the genes starting from here, Y, A, L, E. They are the different genes, and they are roughly 40 in number. So these genes, they are present on two loci, the locus A, TRA, and the locus B, TRB. So these two regions, two loci, TRA and TRB, totally they contain about 40 genes, and most of them are expressed coordinately as part of a single polycistronic 32 kilobase transcription unit. And this transcription unit, it is from TRAY to TRI. This region, TRAY up to TRAI. This is the transcription region. And from here to here, this is the regulatory region of this transfer region. So this region from TRAY to TRAI, it contains about the 40 genes which are elaborated here. So there they have the common coordinated expression, and this type of expression it is known as polycistronic. Polycistronic means a number of genes, they are expressed under the control of a same promoter, single promoter. So this type of control system is known as polycistronic transcription. TRM and TRJ are expressed separately. So these two genes TRM and TRAJ, they have their own promoter, they are expressed separately. TRAJ is a regulator, that turns on both TRAM and TRAY to TRAI. So this is the TRAJ is the regulator. Its protein, it turns on the transcription of both TRAM and the transfer region from TRAY to TRAI. On the opposite strand, FANP is a regulator. Here, FNP is the regulator on the opposite strand, and this FNP is a regulator that codes for a small antisense RNA that turns off TRAJ. So this is the antisense sequence, and this FNP, it turns off TRAJ. Its activity requires expression of another gene, FINO. And its expression, the expression of FINP, it requires the expression of another gene which is abbreviated as FINO. So in the transfer region, only 4 of the TRA and TRB genes, TRAD, TRAI, TRAM, and TRAY in the major transcription unit are concerned directly with the transfer of DNA. So the major contribution in the conjugation process are in the transfer of DNA from one bacterium to the other bacterium. These 4 genes, they are most important. TRAD, this one, TRAI, here, TRAM, this one, and TRY, the gene present here. These 4 genes, M, Y, I, and D, these are the most important in the process of transfer of plasmid DNA from the donor bacterium to the recipient bacterium. So most of these genes, they encode proteins that form a large membrane spanning protein complex. So the product of these 4 genes is a protein complex. It is called as type 4 secretion system, abbreviated as T4SS, type 4 secretion system. And this protein complex is involved in the process of transfer of plasmid DNA from the donor to the recipient bacterium. These systems are common in bacteria where they have been shown to be involved in the transport of various proteins and DNA across the bacterial cell envelope. So this complex, it can facilitate the transfer of DNA and the proteins across the bacterial cell envelope and are responsible for maintaining contacts between mating bacteria. And this protein complex is also responsible for the contact between the donor and the recipient bacterium.